All right, everything was good in your video. So we got 3 new rhythms we're gonna do this week. As far as when do we get the solo stuff and all those things, I don't know. I don't know. It really all depends on how well you pick stuff up. But the basic idea is we do several different eighth note patterns with the chords first. After we cover the several different ones and get I have an idea of what we end up doing. How fast we go through it depends on how well things are picked up. But anyway, after the eighth note strumming, then we move into single note eighth note stuff. So picking, like, for example, like last week you had the rhythm of, I don't remember the chorus, but like the 1, 2, and 4, 1, 2, and 4. So what we end up doing is eventually stuff really, we could do it in a couple ways. So we might do something like this. 1, 2, and 4, 1, 2, and 4, 1, 2, and 4, stuff like that. Or we may end up doing something like this. Where we're changing notes every pick stroke. Because what I'm going to be doing after this is kind of seeing like, well, how well can you do stuff we are alternate picking the entire time when we're changing notes. And then then we'll go through several different eighth note rhythmic patterns with the single note playing or single string playing. And then we move on to legato, the eighth notes, or hammer-ons, pull-offs, slides, that stuff with the eighth notes, and then go through several different patterns with that as well, making sure you have very good, solid control over playing all these different things. And then we move into 16th notes, which is 4 notes a click, 4 notes per beat. And then we start again with the chords first, cover a lot of different patterns, and then move into the single notes, and then legato. Then we also can start throwing in like palm mute accent patterns when we have gotten through like a bunch of the 16th note strumming. And then after we do all that, we go through eighth note triplets as well, starting with the chords, then the single notes, then the legato. So we cover basically solo-ish type things and leads and whatnot, while still being rhythmic at the same time. That being said, we can talk more about throwing in things like the sweep picking or tapping or bends as we continue to progress here. But yeah, if I remember right, you did say that yes, you want to know enough theory that you can figure out and understand any song that you want to. So that's definitely the route we're going. Just making sure that you have enough knowledge to be able to do just that. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. I know you said you're not trying to rush anything and that you just kind of want to see the progression, but so yeah, basically the big chunk is eighth notes like we're doing now, chords, then single notes, then legato. Switch over to 16th notes, do the chords, single notes, legato. Switch over to the triplets, chords, single notes, legato. And there we go. So all kinds of technique stuff is going to be done throughout that. And then eventually, we can start moving into like theory stuff as well. Start doing scales, and we might end up doing that once we get to the single note playing stuff. We can start incorporating that and get scale memorization happening and all solo actual lead playing and all that too. Yeah, that's the brief summary. Trying to be brief anyway. All right, so new stuff. So we got the same rhythm throughout, but we're showing it in 2 different ways. Because I did that last time with you, right? Sometimes I have a hard time keeping everybody or remembering what everyone did. Yeah, we did that. Okay, good. That's why I just pulled up the old stuff. Like, what did we do? Oh yeah, that's what we did. Okay, so just like we did last week, we got stuff that's like upbeat or upstrumming focus, upstroke focus. So here we're going to be skipping the downbeat of 2. We're not going to play on the 2. So showing it 2 different ways. Here we can clearly see where all the down and up beats are. And here, mathematically the same, but not as easy to read or sight read like on the fly. You're just playing it and going. So, downbeat of 1, upbeat of 1, which is tied to the downbeat of 2, strumming on the upbeat of 2, strumming on the 3 and the 4. So comparing the 2 ways of seeing the same rhythm, got your 8th note to 8th note. There is your 8th note tied to an 8th note, which is the same length as the quarter note. 8th note, 2 quarter notes, 2 quarter notes. Okay. So I'm going to start the old metronome at 60. I'm going to say what the count is and then start playing along with it. Here we go. 1, 2. Whoops, I didn't do the thing I said I was going to do. 1 and 3, 4, 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 done. A little adjustment on the microphone. Okay. 120 coming up. A 1. Do the count again of the rhythm. 1 and 3, 4, 1 and 3, 4, 1 and 3, 4, 1 and 3, 4, 1 and 3, 4. All right. 180. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm gonna go 240. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 200 for the repeats. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2. All right, so here we are not going to play on the downbeat of 4. So once again, we have the same rhythm written out 2 different ways. So comparing the 2 ways, you got your 2 quarter notes, 2 quarter notes, 8th note, 8th note, 8th note tied to an 8th note, which is the length of a quarter note, 8th note, 8th note. So here we go, 60 beats per minute, saying what the rhythm is and then playing. So it is 1, 2, 3 and 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 120. 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3 and 1. I like that chord change. 1, 2, 3 and 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 1. 180. 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3 and 1. 240. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 200. 200 for the repeats. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. That was a bad change. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. All right, number 3. Something special on this one. Technically, the same rhythm is not written out 2 different ways because we can't do it. We don't have eighth notes tied to eighth notes within the same bar. We do have eighth notes tied to eighth notes here, but they go across the bar line, so we can't just put a quarter note for it anymore. So even though this eighth note is tied to this eighth note, we cannot make this a quarter note. We don't have enough room in the bar or measure to fit in a quarter note. So because we want this chord to ring out into the new bar, we have to have the tie. So this thing right here, that is an eighth note rest. The eighth note rest means you play nothing on that downbeat of 1. It's got to be silent. So we come in on the upbeat of 1. So upbeat of 1, 2, 3, 4, and that is tied across into the new bar, ringing out across the downbeat of 1, and then we change chords on the upbeat of 1. This strumming pattern, this kind of rhythm and chord progression, where people have a difficult time is here, because they're not used to changing chords on the upstroke. So you may need to just practice something like this. So just going down, up, down, down, up, down. Or it might be easier to work on just that part because you're not changing frets. You are changing strings, but you're not changing frets. So it's something like down, up, down. And you just do that. So get used to changing the chord on the upbeat. If you need to. And if this rhythm ends up being a big pain in the butt this week, that's okay. Just give it the best you got. And yeah, if you can let me know what your maximum speeds are. Let me know your maximum speeds each week. That would be very helpful. Okay. So let's get to this. So when this one, counting off 4, I'm going to do this. I'm going to count off 4 and then say what the rhythm is. Okay? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 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 1. Count to 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 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 done. 180. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2, 3, 4, and 2, 3, 4, and 240. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2, 3, 4, and 2, 3, 4, and. Alright, now back to 200 for the repeats. Now when you do the repeats, what I want you to do is this chord here, hold it so it rings out across beat 1 here. So the same way this rings out across the bar line, I want you to have this ring out across the bar line for the repeats. So the only time we have a rest is at the very beginning when you start playing. Here we go. 60. Not 60. 200. Saying 60 is a habit. Alright. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2, 3, 4, and 2, 3, 4, and. Okay, here we go. So, any questions? Let me know. Oh, regarding the dates, you said you're going to be out 13th through the 16th, and then not wanting to miss something and being able to change the deadline. We can try. We can certainly try. Let me see those days of the week. So 13th, that's a Thursday. 16th, so I'm guessing you can practice again on Monday. So I should have it for 3 days at least. Again, you can try if you want to turn it in before you leave or after you come back, because that's fine with me. I mean, either way, we're going to have less days. So either way, it's going to be less days. But here's the thing that we need to do, or the thing that we're really focused on, is showing you have control over what you're doing. So if you're okay with taking a short week, one of these weeks coming up, that's okay. Now for me, me being away on the 30th, like I'm gone the entire week, so I won't be able to do anything. So sorry, that one we won't be changing the date. We do have to skip that one, but I'll be back at it the very next week. So yep, just got that 1 week. I really only miss, like, for vacation stuff, 2 weeks out of the year. And then if I'm like really, really sick, then I'll miss something, but that's pretty rare too. I usually work when I am sick. I have to be really damn sick to not do it. Like I can't get out of bed type sick. If I can get up out of bed and sit down and use my brain somewhat, then I'll do the lessons. But anyway, so yeah, that week, yeah, when I'm gone, I won't be able to do anything. I'll be back again on, we can resume on July 7th, I think it is. Yeah. Anyway, that's not until then. So yeah, you want to turn stuff before or after the time that you're gone, that's fine with me. Just do the best you can. Keep realistic expectations, because it's not going to go as well on the shortened week as a full week. So I just want to put that out there, because every now and then a student might be like, why is it so much worse just because of a few days of being out? Sometimes it makes a big difference. It really can. All right, I think I covered everything now. Any other questions? Let me know. I will see you again in your new videos.